Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today's card, I'm going to be using the latest Flower of the Month stamp from Divinity Designs. I haven't taken it out of the package yet, but I did slice it open to make it easier to get out. And I have some pages I printed off the internet when I started getting these stamps for the birth flower of the month. This will be for August, and this is a gladiola. And the birthstone color is peridot, or light green. And it's actually kind of a bright green here, printed out. So those are the colors I'm going to use. So I picked out this green card that matches the green on my computer printout perfectly. This is 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it and creased it with my bone folder, or you can crease it with your fingers, a pair of scissors, whatever you have on hand that can give you a good burnish. Now, I used two GinaK master layouts here. I used master layouts 8, and I took a 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 piece of white cardstock, and I cut it down with a scalloped edge. This ends up being, I think, 4.5 by 6.5. A little bit less than 6.5. That is just going to go on the inside of the card because I have this bright green card. I like to have something white on the inside. And then on master layouts 13, which is the newest one I've got, I'm just going to use these little squares. I have a white piece that measures 2.125 by 3.625, and then a stitched piece that measures 2 by 3.5 inches. And I'm going to put those on here with a piece of 6 3/4 by 4 3/4 cardstock that's going to go on the front of the card. And there's a little smudge on that one, so I'm just going to flip it over. So I'm going to kind of layer them like that. So let's open this and see what I've got to work with. Okay, I see my invoice, so I'm going to leave that in there. I'll pull it out just to show you. This stamp is really a good deal. Though it took forever to get here. They mailed it on the 5th of August, and it just got here today on the 20th of August. And it just came from the neighboring state, so the post office is a little weird. But this is only $16.76 a month, and I think it just goes for this year. And this is what we got. Oh, they just put a piece of cardboard in there to help hold it. And you get the stamps and the matching dies. And I believe this is well worth it. This is going to be a pretty stamp. Okay. All right. Yep. See, I'm going to stamp and cut this out, and I want to kind of place it on that little panel. All right. Well, let's get started. I think what I have in mind will work for this nice stamp set. So I have this old Cuttlebug embossing folder, which is an embossed diamonds. And I'm going to take that plain white background, that's 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to emboss it with this design. Now, for my Anna Griffin machine, I don't need my magnetic mat. I just need my base plate, the folder, the metal shim, and the top plate. Run that through. This is one of my favorite folders. And that gives you a nice raised diamond pattern. I love that. Okay, set that off to the side, and I'll move these over for now because I am going to have to stamp and die cut. Now I have an extra piece of scratch paper. This is what I'm going to stamp and die cut on. So I'm just going to put this in my Misty, and then I have a waffle flower grip mat in here to hold these in place. Now these stamps haven't been used yet, so I'm just going to condition them, which what that means is the factory has a little coating on the stamp. And if you don't condition it first, it'll take you several stampings, and you can watch your ink pull up. So you get a much better impression the first time by conditioning it. And they make nice erasers that do this job just as well. But as long as my fingers work, I'm going to keep them working. Since I'm going to cut these out, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut them all out. But I'm going to stamp them anyhow, just in case. If I use them, great. If I decide to stamp, then I'll just stamp them again. All right, and I'm just going to use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne because I'm going to be coloring this with alcohol inks. And the VersaFine Clair works really great with alcohol inks. That's perfect the first time. All right, now I'm just going to clean this off with water and an old washcloth. And I'll put these right back on where they go. Okay, and I believe I am done stamping. Oh no, I need to do one more sentiment on here. I wanted, since this doesn't say health and happiness, I pulled out a birthday just in case, because sometimes these don't say anything about a birthday. And I want these to be birthday cards. So I'm using from GinaK Designs All Occasion Flowers, this birthday wishes that comes with a die. So I'm just going to put this over here and stamp that real quick. And I have used that before, so I don't need to condition it. You just need to do that the first time you use a stamp. And I believe my rag is still wet. Okay, now I am done stamping. I do need to die cut all of these out. Okay. So now I do need my magnetic mat and not the metal shim. And yes, I cut into my magnetic mat. Anna Griffin herself even does that, so I'm not too concerned. All right. Now the key will get these to get these lined up. I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can see it in my eyes. Or with my eyes, not on my eyes. I see this stamped a little off color, so I might color in the part that didn't get real dark with my magic marker. Okay. Hold that down. Let's die cut these out. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to put this die back. All right, I'll set that over there so I remember which products I have used so I can make my product list for you. These still need to go in their folder, so I'm just going to set that aside. All right, Now, I did cut out earlier because I was pretty sure I would be needing it. Because I said, like, all of these don't always say happy birthday. I did cut out 3 other birthday greetings just in case. And then I also pulled a piece of green cardstock that matched this, just in case I decided to change and stamp the birthday on the green. And I may do that yet. Haven't decided. So let me get to, I'm going to put this card parts together. This is going to go on the inside. Now you could stamp on this too. If the flower was smaller, you know what? I'm going to stamp that right on there. That's pretty. As oftentimes, if the flower was smaller, I would do it in the corner. And I think I'm going to put it on this side because I want to have it on that side, on the outside. So let's, and this one I am not going to color. I am just going to stamp it. Okay. And I just had it. Where'd it go? Staring me in the face. Yep, right here. Since I'm going to be stamping upside down, this one will just be black and not colored in like I'm going to do with the other one. A little bit more ink. I didn't press as firmly. Sometimes I need to press a little firmer than the others, and it all depends on the stamp. Perfect. Clean that off. Now I'm going to leave this open and I'll put the card together. I just want that ink to dry a little bit more before I close the lid. Okay. Pardon for the noise. Okay, so now I will color. Get our piece of scratch paper here. I have several reams of copy paper that were given to me that had been water damaged. They can't go through a printer. Pardon me while I get a drink. They cannot go through a printer anymore because of the water damage they've had. Now, on these 2 pieces, I want the back to be green, and I didn't have a big enough scrap left over from cutting this card. So I chose G494 May Green, which is going to be a similar color. And I just want to do the edge here. It will be similar, but not the same. So it will be a coordinating color. And I'm going to go over it twice, a couple times actually, just to darken it up a smidge and to even out the edges where the color crosses. That looks good. And I see I got some ink smudge on here, so let's... Yep, probably from my fingers. I think ink on my fingers is a constant issue. It's because I'm always down here playing. Now this is going to go right behind here and give you just a little bit of a green edge that is a different shade, but complementary color. And these little pieces were from the GinaK Master Layouts 13. It's one of my new sets that I like. Okay, I believe I can, yeah, I can close that lid now. I'm going to put this top on. lined up. And these I want to pop up, and I am going to use, I have 1/2-inch foam tape here. And I'm just going to put a couple pieces on the back. Just to give a little depth and dimension to the card. I don't need to put a piece in the middle. It's small enough that that's not necessary, but if you wanted to, you could. And I know I want this to be on the left side. Kind of right there. And see what I mean, how it's a complementary color. Okay, now for coloring our flower. For the green on here, I've chosen 2 colors, G287 Apple Green, and whoops, I don't want the big end, I want the little end. And determining which part is foliage here is going to be a little bit of a challenge at first. Now this card's going to be fairly bright because I've also chosen pinks. So it's going to be a pink, green, and white card. Oh, that's a leaf down here. And that's a leaf there. Take a quick look. All right. Now for the other colored green, G369 Matcha Green, which is a darker green, and will give some highlights and shadowing. Now you could get real specific with your shadowing. I don't. I just put whatever looks good. If you were a photographer and the shadows all need to be in one location, that's great. That's not my brain, unfortunately. Okay, now for the flower, I've got a light, it's pink, but it's called purple, pale purple, RV211, and then RV288 Mineral Violet. And I'm going to do some light pink, and then I'm going to use the darker pink for shadowing and for the center of the flower. I'm going to use my bigger tip. Okay, now I can talk, now that I've got the outer edges done without going outside the lines. If I try and color and talk at the same time, it doesn't work the greatest. I guess it's because other than YouTube, when I'm down here crafting, I don't talk. All right, now we're going to use the Mineral Violet and do some shading. You can hear. I'm putting it where the stamp had lines drawn already. And then I'm going out a little bit, because I know the center of the flower is usually darker. So I guess I'm going to put a little bit more down here. And then on the buds, that one may have been a leaf, but that's okay. All right, done coloring. Now let me see how we can put this card together and have it look decent. Now, I think I want to put the August down here or up here. August. Okay, where's the... it should have the name of the flower. Okay, that will go there. And this will go here. I don't think I'm going to use the health and happiness, but maybe I should. All right, I know this is how I want to go. This is going to go down flat. And I'm going to put that up there. Now I'm going to just use very low loft foam strips for this, for the flower. These are barely a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch in height. I just want to give a little bit of height and dimension to this card. I just need one more little piece. Might as well stick a piece in the middle. Okay, now I do want this, I want this to be kind of angled and coming up the top. And then I want to put a little bit of this under this end. And then that part will be flat with just one little small piece down here. I didn't put it all the way across because I already have some behind here. I need to hold down that August. Okay, now the birthday wishes, I am going to glue these together. Use my smaller glue bottle for that. Perhaps I will. Nope, not today. Now I'll go off camera in about 10 minutes and it'll work just fine. Does things ever happen to you like that? I think it's camera shy. Now I had 3 separate backs plus the top one. And here's what I need to decide. Do I want this to be green so it shows? No, it's going to be white. Come on. All my glues decided to be camera shy. This just makes this a little thicker and adds a little dimension to this side of the card. I'm going to put it down here. This is just going to be simple, and then I'm going to bling up the rest of the card. And I'm just going to get my little stamp block to hold that down for just a moment while I clean the glue off my fingers now. Okay. Let's put the cap back on this so that I can figure out its problem later on. Now, I did bring some stickles in the color of unicorn. It's kind of a yellow green, but I want to do the diamond stickles to the flower. This is more of a clear with golden accents and gives a better image. And my stickles brush is right here. I have a very stiff bristle brush. I don't clean it so it stays stiff, and I only use this for stickles. So we're going to bling up this flower. Just make it shine and sparkle. I like shiny, sparkly things. I think it just gives a little bonus oomph to a card. And I like the stickles because it's not glitter that will fall off the card when your recipient opens it. Just going to add a little bit up here to the petals of the buds. Now, I do have this other stickles that I would also like to use. This is unicorn. I want to try it here on a little piece of scrap. I'll just try it on here. All right, it's fairly clear, but I also have these greens, which I don't know as if I want to use the green. I'm just going to try the unicorn, a couple dots here and there. I'm going to go like every other up and down. Okay. Okay, so we'll do it this way. We're skipping. Try to be random, and then I find I'm going in a pattern, and so I'm trying to unpatternize it, but I don't think it's gonna work. I'm not a random kind of girl, I guess. Now the stickles will flatten, so they won't be popped up like pearls would be. Okay, need a little something more here and here. I'm going to try a rhinestone just in, let's see if I can get one a color that will work. Yeah, let's just try a couple of them. I'll do 3 just to see. Well, that one just went flying across the room. Oh, no, it didn't. It stayed right behind. It tricked me. Let's just see. Put one there. Okay, do a couple more. That way it's going to have extra bling. It'll have the very subtle of the unicorn stickles on the back. Plus the green rhinestones. Okay, it really needs something in the middle there. I don't like that health and happiness. I mean, it's pretty. It's a nice font. I almost needed to do my birthday wishes in a larger... Hold on, let me put you on pause and go through my stamps to see if I have one that's a little bit larger birthday that would look nicer. I'm going to pause you for just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I peeled off this birthday wishes. It just wasn't the right size. But it left a smudge on my card, so I am going to use this health and happiness, and I'm going to stick it right down over top of that. Oh, hey, I told you it would work the next time. So that's going to go over there to kind of cover up the funkiness. And I'm just going to hold that like that. I don't want to lay it down flat on there because the stickles are still wet. Okay, now I do have this happy birthday die. It's one of my favorites. I believe I got it on Amazon. I cut it out in black 2 times. And I'm going to glue this together. Well, let's lay that down. I'll use my scrap paper here as my glue board. I think this, it just needed a larger sentiment. Or maybe if I would have stenciled the background or colored the diamond panel, it might have stood out more. I don't know. It was just lacking. So that's what you do. You play and you figure it out. If it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. But at least you played and had fun and tried something. All right. Now see this, I will put up here. All right. I love these flower stamps from Divinity Designs. I just wish maybe they would have called it Flower of the Month instead of Birthday Flower of the Month. Just semantics, I guess. But to me, when I think of birthday, I like a saying that, I'm going to put this sideways, that mentions birthday. Just my thoughts on it. But I love them. When I subscribed, it said it was only till the end of this year, so I don't know if they're going to have a different one for next year or what the plans are. Okay, that's my card. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a little lesson on what to do, what not to do, and that will lead you to experiment and challenge yourself to come up with something that you can do. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Look at that sparkling flower.